Hey YouTube, Cecelialane here. Oh man, it's been so crazy. Wow. So let me try and back up just a little since I've been out of the loop for a moment. uh, Months 2 through 4, I had some serious buyer's remorse. OMG. The intestinal and stomach issues were just off the chisarts, okay? My eating habits had gotten so bad in that, yeah, I was still making an effort to eat good foods here and there, but at the same time, I was eating a lot of crap. Oh my gosh. So much crap, and it was like a consistent. So this was one of the rare occasions where I was being consistently consistent. Not consistently inconsistent, yeah. Consistently consistent with the crap that I couldn't seem to let go of. And that crap was just wreaking havoc with my system. And the farty pooty fest that was going on was just, it was horrific. It was. And I hated it, and I was miserable. And I just wanted it all to go away. I guess I have to then admit that, if you're looking for a revision, I mean, if you had asked me 2 months ago, would I advise anybody to get the SADI-S revision 6 years out? I'd be like, hell to the effing no. Hell to the effing no. Not unless you want to be miserable. And it felt like I was going to be miserable for the rest of my life, which of course isn't true. I'm not miserable now. But now, 4 months out, I'll say, okay, totally worth it. I would do it again. Of course, I'm saying that because now I'm informed and I know, and I would hope that I would make the shift in my eating sooner and be better prepared for that. And I was this time because, this was totally new and I had no idea really what I was getting myself into, even though I told myself, I swore up and down. I knew exactly what I was doing, which, I'm really good for, even when it's total bull crappy. So knowing now what I know, I would do it again because I know that it would not last forever, that things would get better, that just the sheer misery would force me to begin to eat the right foods that I need to be eating, change my eating habits, on a consistent basis, where I'm eating real food 99% of the time, and 1% of the time I'm eating crap. The nice thing is I noticed that as I've gotten more into the habit of eating real foods, the more I'm craving real foods. So when I get hungry now, I'm wanting to eat real food, not wanting to eat crap, which is nice. And when I do eat some crap, I generally don't finish it anymore. If I choose an item, I won't eat all of it. I know what's going to be coming if I did, or if I ate it in excess, and I don't feel like dealing with it. So, yeah, it's been rough, guys. It's been really, really rough. Thankfully, things are not rough now. But if you're considering the SADI-S as a revision without a reduction in your stomach size, which in most cases, unless you've really stretched it out, the doctors aren't going to do, because that's tacking on a whole bunch of additional risk for very little reward gain when really, my ass just needs to stop eating all this shit. I mean, I just had to get out of the habit of it. And I agree, if I was a doctor, that's not a risk that I would be willing to add on. So, you know, I would first advise like getting the mini bypass as your revision, or if it turns out there's something wrong with your stomach, which I've had some friends that I've corresponded with, you know, that have had issues, you know, tears or so much scar tissue damage or et cetera, or just all kinds of weird stuff that they had to get the stomach part done too. Now, don't get me wrong, those people are miserable also, but in their own right, in their own ways. Not the same misery that I had to go through with the farty pooty fest. OMG. Now, thankfully, I'm on a great routine. I sometimes start pootying in the middle of the night around, I guess in the middle of the morning, around anywhere from like 2 to 4 a.m. and don't finish until, gosh, around 10 a.m. And I'm saying, you know, like, so I pooty, take a little break, have to pooty again, little break, you know, an hour or two between pooties. But I can be in the bathroom pootying for, you know, anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Which was a real transition for me. You know, I was one of those people that had to pooty, and I went in the bathroom and I pootied, and 5 minutes later I was out. It's generally not like that now, although it has gotten easier, obviously, and it's become my new norm. And I'm not in the bathroom as long, and I don't do the waking up in the middle of the night on a consistent basis anymore. That's just occasional now. On the whole, my usual norm is that I have to pooty first thing in the morning when I wake up, and I continue to pooty probably about 2 to 4 more times from the time I wake up until about 3-4 hours later. And then I'm done for the day, and I generally don't pooty again until the next day. And obviously that's been a relief. That's a huge relief. And I'm the farting thing. As long as I'm not eating all that crap, and since I've stopped eating all that crap, I'm not having the farty thing. Yes, by late evening, nighttime, I generally start suffering from some very limited to mild gas, where I pass gas probably 3 to 10 times as we get into like late evening, nighttime, late night, probably more like late night, not late evening. So anywhere from like 8 to 11 a.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m. And that's it. So my buyer's remorse is gone. While I was making the adjustment, I was just staying steady on my weight. I didn't lose anything, but I didn't gain anything. Yay! So that was, wow, that's amazing in itself, because after I had left my honeymoon phase from my surgery, which, you know, started about 5 years out, 4.5, 5 years out. If I wasn't constantly vigilant, then I would start gaining. And of course, my whole life before weight loss surgery, that was the standard too. If I wasn't extremely vigilant, I would gain. And there was generally only two parts to my weight loss or weight management life. There was losing and gaining, losing and gaining. There was no maintenance. Sorry, I've been sick. Stern weather. Ugh. That's a whole nother story. But anyways, yeah, so I've stopped that seesaw, and I'm not living in a world of lose and gain. I'm living in a world, again, of lose and maintain. I have started to lose again just recently, in this last like couple of weeks, since I finally consistently started eating real food, and you know, like 99% of the time eating the real food and 1% eating crap, you know, like a lollipop. But man, I'm not gonna lie, really, really difficult transition for me, because I freaking love food. Food is like an aphrodisiac. It's like sex for me, and wonderful sex. And you know, I love to cook, and I especially love to eat my cooking, as do others, but myself mostly. So, yeah, just got to keep it real and say that has been a huge challenge for me. Huge challenge. But I'm feeling much better now, like I said. I'm not sure exactly how much I've lost in the last couple of weeks because I haven't been on the scale. Only time I've gotten the scale, and the reason why I know I've maintained, is because I have my pain management appointments every month. Every month they have me get on the scale, and every month my weight was exactly the same. 189, 189, 189, 189. Which, like I said, you know, is huge. So I'm not complaining about that. But I haven't gotten on the scale since my last visit to see what I've lost since then. Last time I got on the scale there, I was 187. So I was down 2 pounds, and that was a couple of weeks ago. So we'll see. Right now, it's not really my focus. I am finally moving and getting the effers out of Dodge. 31st right now is our target fly out date. And if anybody has ever moved cross country, you know, man, I have a freaking project plan for the move because of all of the logistics and everything. I have a Gantt chart that I made. I mean, I have to-dos, to-do reminders, just so much stuff. It's just been so much. And the cost is, oh my gosh. I cannot begin to tell you how much I can. It's like almost $20,000 to move from the East Coast to the West Coast. If you have had spinal surgery, can't pick shit up, can't carry shit, can't pack shit, and can't clean shit, and definitely can't drive shit. So that means we have people who are packing for us, we have people who are loading for us, people who are unloading, people who are cleaning the house, people who are removing all the trash, people who are driving our vehicles, and people who are driving the moving truck, and everything. I mean, everything. I'm not, the things that I've done has been, you know, the project plan, setting up, you know, like the garage estate sale, the logistics for everything, decluttering the house. I've just had to go through room by room and be like, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, and throw that into boxes. And actually I've been doing that with my daughter because I've even had trouble with getting stuff into boxes, you know, like physically with my neck. And I'm really trying to get off all of my medications. I'm finally off of my Cymbalta too. And so now I don't take anything on a daily basis. Nothing. So I'm so looking forward to be just total medication free. So like I said, so we're moving to San Diego. We will hopefully be there December 31st. I'm going to take the week off after that and just vacation with my family out of our home. But you know, San Diego is new and has all this great stuff and beaches. I mean, just so much. So for us, it's a vacation, even though we'll be in an empty home for like 5-6 days while our stuff is in transit. You know, we won't have any cars, we won't have any furniture. You know, we'll be picking up blow up mattresses and sleeping on those for a week while we wait for everything to arrive. But we will have, you know, refrigerator in the kitchen and all that stuff, and our clothes and our boys, our babies. Uh, and that's all we need, and we'll have each other, and that's all we need. So we're gonna have a great time and just relax after all the hectic stress. And then, of course, a huge reason for my hibernation from YouTube is the anniversary of my mom's death was in October 14th. And man, gosh, I'm 43 years old. Do you think like I'd be over this shit? Nope. Nope. I miss my mama so effing much. Oh my gosh, like so effing much. And Thanksgiving, we took our daughter to New York and spent a little time there. And then when we came back, you know, my family, my husband and daughter, really like when I make Thanksgiving dinner. And I make the traditional one from my parents. I follow their recipes. So it's a real big, like, family tradition thing. So I still made Thanksgiving dinner. And I, like, cried the whole way through. I missed my mama so much. Missed her sitting there talking to me and helping me out and giving me advice, and just, God, hearing her voice and seeing her face and having her company. Man, I just really, really miss her. Really miss her. So the holidays, of course, you know, she had to go inconveniencing me and passing in October, which is right before the holidays, so that I could just have this wonderful, successive, depression breakdown thing, you know, over this like 3-4 month period. Yay. No, mommy, I love you. And, but, you know, it's been hard that logistically, that's how it's all ended up, you know, where there's this timeline of October is the anniversary, and then November is Thanksgiving holiday, and then December is Christmas holiday, and she's not there for any of it. And then I'm doing this huge move. It's a crap load of money, it's a crap load of work, and it's extremely stressful, and I don't have my mama here to, you know, be my mommy. And you know, give me the tough love and the great support that she always gives me. And, you know, and then obviously there are a lot of huge implications of moving. Biggest being, you know, to my daughter, that just emotionally give me angst and cause me distress to no end, making my daughter have to start over again. As a sophomore in high school in the middle of sophomore year. So I have a lot of guilt over that, a whole lot of guilt. And it would be great to be talking to my mommy about that and her, you know, keeping me straight. But thank God, as always, I do have my daughter and my husband, and amazing. I just feel like I'm the luckiest wife, mother in the world, between them and the boys. And I know I always say this and you guys are sick of it, but I just freaking love them, and they're so great to me. You know,